How's it going, everybody? We're back with the Digging Deep segment on matchmaking. Today we're doing Rob Font. That's Sergio Pinheiro. I'm Joe Gravel. And we're going to talk about possible opponents for Rob Font. He had a long layoff. He came back with a repaired knee, and he looked spectacular in his knockout victory over Marlon Moraes. So now it's what's next for the New England Cartel. It's what's next for Rob Font, and we're going to take a look at the tail of the tape. 33 years of age, 5'8", 135 pounds, fighting in the Bantamweight division, 71.5-inch reach, 18-4, Rob Font. So how's it going, Sergio?
It's not too bad, man. Rob Font, like you said, crazy way to come back, man. One of the comebacks of the year in terms of the layoff he had, and he comes back and, man, what he did to Marlon Moraes was remarkable. But yeah, I'm doing well, and I can't wait to talk about Rob Font and what's next for the entire cartel. Obviously, Cater just comes back from that loss, so it's going to be really interesting to see what Rob Font can do to kind of avenge almost his buddy's loss as well, and kind of put New England Cartel like back in there and have people respect them again.
Exactly, man. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot going on with these two fighters, and let's think about some possible options, man. Who do you got? Who do you think Rob Font should fight next?
So I mean, when you instantly ask me this, there's like three opponents that right away come to my mind. I mean, obviously, TJ Dillashaw, just, he's been off forever. He just a week ago, I think he's been allowed to fight now. He doesn't have an opponent booked. Rob Font with that performance could be one fight away from a title shot. I like that matchup. There's also Jose Aldo. I mean, Jose Aldo just had that remarkable performance. He arguably never lost at bantamweight. I mean, his performance against Marlon, I thought he won it. I think a lot of people thought he won it. And regardless of whether or not you did or didn't, he just beat Chito Vera. So he's in a good spot as well. So those would be my two right off the top of my head options. I know there's a couple others there as well, but either one of those two matchups I'm okay with. What about you?
I absolutely love the TJ Dillashaw fight. Obviously, big Cartel fan, big Rob Font fan. I know if Rob and TJ fight, if Rob wins that fight, man, that's a straight path to the title. I also know if TJ comes back and he wins in a fight against Rob Font after what Font just did against Marlon Moraes, I mean, that's an excellent comeback fight and an excellent win for TJ. So that could favor both men on both ends. Jose Aldo, I absolutely love that fight because on a fan standpoint, Aldo's a legend to me. Font is somebody I really like watching fight. I look up to him. I would love to see them two enter the octagon. But as for Font's career, I'd prefer to see TJ Dillashaw. Another option we have is Cody Garbrandt. I mean, Cody Garbrandt coming off of that huge knockout over Rafael Assunção, one of the best knockouts of the year. His style, he loves to box. Rob Font loves to box. Both men have a good jab. Both men, they got good footwork, good head movement. That would be extremely fun. And last, Sergio, something me and you have talked about before, if there's an injury to potentially Aljamain Sterling, something I would never hope would happen, maybe Rob Font could be the next candidate to step up, get in there and fight for the title.
Yeah, I like that matchup. And I think that's probably only possible if it's actually, I think if Jan gets hurt, because if Sterling gets hurt, you still have Sandhagen, who I think may have a case as well. Because his performance over Marlon was just as remarkable. Obviously, he's booked with Frankie, so those two aren't there. But I think if Jan gets hurt, you could almost make a case for a Sterling Font interim title. But yeah, I mean, any of those options. If I was Font, I would not be rushing either. Don't rush. There's options there. Options are going to be available. I think you're one fight away. So just make sure that it's the right time and make sure it's the right opponent. And I really think Rob Font made a case with his last performance. I think he's one fight away, and any of those three options work, but I wouldn't be rushing it.
Yeah, no, take your time. He's got some leeway here. He's coming off of a big win. The year just started. They literally just got back from Abu Dhabi, and yeah, just chill. Take it slow, see what happens, and hopefully he gets the Dillashaw fight upon his return. I think that's the best one. I think that'd be the most exciting, and hopefully it could happen in Vegas so they don't have to travel too far again. And man, that'd be one hell of a fight. Those two guys, that'd be great. So, yeah.
If you had to pick one of the three, it would be the TJ fight, eh?
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
I like that fight. I don't know. I think when you look when all is said and done, if I'm Rob Font 10 years down the road, when you reflect on your career, what's more significant? A win over TJ Dillashaw or a win over Jose Aldo? And for me, I know he's at a stage of his career where that doesn't really matter, but I think either one of those fights could get him a title shot. So you got to look at the two and be like, 10 years down the road, I can say I beat a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest to ever do it, one of the best featherweights, if not the best featherweight of all time, and TJ in his own right has a legacy as well. But for me, I just think, having that name is huge. Is he at a stage of his career right now where that really matters? Probably not. But if either fight will get him a title shot, why not take the Aldo fight? So for me, from that standpoint, I wouldn't be opposed to the Aldo fight if I was Rob Font.
And that's a great point, Sergio, because in this sport, it's what have you done lately? And lately, TJ Dillashaw hasn't been able to do anything. And lately, Jose Aldo's coming off of a win. So, that's a great point. And I think, you made it. You made a case for that right there as well. So Rob Font's got some options. No matter who he steps in there with, it's just I'm proud of him, man. He came back from a bad injury, a win over Ricky Simone, and then a win over Marlon Moraes, and now we're talking about him in his name with a title shot. I mean, that's just awesome.
Who would have said that a year ago?
Yeah.
Who would have said that after his injury? And what's crazy to me is I didn't even realize that until we said we were going to do this video is he doesn't have a win over a ranked opponent. That was his first win over someone who's currently ranked. And to be able to do it in the way he did, a guy who was almost going to win the bantamweight strap against Henry Cejudo, the fact that he did it in that fashion, kind of similar to an Ortega, which is another video that we just did, is that layoff for Rob could have actually been beneficial. And huge win for Rob, and he's in a very, very good spot.
You're right. The layoff may have even helped him. And the fact that he did it with his jab and that beautiful elbow, can't wait.
Man, it was exciting. And if you watch any of our stuff, where Joe obviously reps the hoodie and he's a huge New England Cartel fan, but I also like the entire cartel. Tyson Chartier is a great guy. I've talked to him on many occasions. Calvin Kattar, unbelievable guy. Rob Font, obviously an unbelievable guy as well. So it would be an amazing thing for the New England Cartel to be able to get that title shot. And I think it's really important that they pick their fight. Rob's got options. He's got time on his hands. So make sure you pick the fight that's better for Rob and at a good time for Rob. And I know they probably don't really care. It's as long as it's a good fight. But, you've got time. And I think the ball is in Rob's court with what he does next.
Hell yes, man. Hell yes. Man, they've made New England proud. They're going to keep on trucking. They're going to keep making New England proud. They're going to keep killing it. I only think there's good things to come for the cartel. So do you got anything else for us, Sergio? Anything else you want to say?
No, man, that's it for me. I mean, I think no matter what Rob Font does next, it's going to be fun. The entire cartel is really fun. And Rob Font really put the world on notice with his last performance. And I, for one, counted him out. And I'd like to take the chance to apologize because I counted him out and he went out there and shut me up and he shut a lot of people up. So, man, hell of a performance. And we can't wait to see what's next for you.
One last thing I'd like to say. I thought it was so cool how Tyson said a lot of people were surprised by this, but I wasn't. But we weren't. I thought that was so badass, man. Yeah.
I mean, I think it just goes to show what goes on inside the gym is not something we can see. We don't get to see the developments. We don't get to see what's going on, those training camps. All we see, and like you said, is the last performance. So his last performance didn't indicate that he was ready for a title shot. He's ready for a title shot. He's ready for one of these top 5 guys. He proved that.
Exactly. And hats off to Marlon Moraes as well, who steps in there against killer after killer and literally just stays there and throws down, man. I mean, that guy's not looking for no easy way out ever. So hats off to him too,
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Sergio. Guys, this is fighterpath.com. This is Digging Deep. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's been great doing this. We'll talk to you soon.